Transliterating Pseudo-Greek.
Hello. That was probably a little bit too early. I don't care. Thank you. And we're back. And for this, I just, now that hopefully we've been looking at the diacritics, all the different vowels, all the different formations, good stuff, whatnot. I wanted to just get you a little bit more familiarized with how it works within in the language setting itself, and the best way to do that in my mind is something called transliteration. And if nobody knows what that is, it's pretty much, there's like really no very scientific way to explain it, so I'm just going to try and tell you the best I know about it. It's pretty much, you can use any letters of any other single alphabet to write in a different language. Like if you could find a way, you could write in Hindi, you could write the Hindi language, you could write in it with German letters. Or anything. I mean, it's not just locked to anything, but that's the best. And it's better shown than explained in my mind. But I just wanted to give you that to nibble on. Best thing ever. So, and the best thing is just to hop right in on it. So we have. I'm going to go over some variations of the things, and then variations of the vowels, and start getting more and more complicated, I guess is the best word. So we have delta, so that's good. And then we've got epsilon, delta. And what this will pronounce, as it is, it will be dead. I mean, that's phonetically what that says. They're one and the same. And then we have delta, epsilon, with the hat, and that will phonetically pronounce deed. We have the hat, pronounces E, so that's all good. We have, it's probably not big enough. Because I'd really like for you guys to see this, especially. We have, it's like a circle kind of coming around, and then bam, just goes off straight, just kind of flattens out. And that will pronounce day. And that's exactly how that pronounces. And you will notice, this is very interesting. We have only two letters, with one being a diacritic, of course. I mean, it's not, there has to be something, there has to be some substance behind a vowel for it to make anything, but regardless, you have two letters here, and it spells an English word that has three. So if you get my gist, you'll find that it's a little bit more efficient than English, in my mind. So like if we go even further with this, we have the same thing, but we have the we have the below in, and that will pronounce dang. I don't know why. No, I'll save that for later. Never mind. So, from this, we can go maybe even a little bit further. Let's try it. So, anyone likes anchors, like the sea, like anchors, because that's also a Greek word. It's all good. We got epsilon, little thing. We have kappa. It's just straight up simple. And then we have the upsilon with the circle, half-circle ligature, which this phonetically says anchor. This is A, then you've got the ingvaz, the anchor. It's as easy as that, honestly. And I mean, if you can commit yourself to memorizing all these diacritics, to me, I've worked with them, I've been developing them. To me, it just comes easy, and I understand it might not be that easy for some people out there, but try it. If it doesn't work, I don't mind. But if there's some people that take a liking to it, definitely do. I would say this is very interesting. It's very interesting. Beyond that, and even further, we have here it's sigma, and if you remember, this is where it goes under the line, so it's under the line, like there's the line right about there, so it's going to go under the line, and then you have here epsilon with the hat, and then you're going to go below the under in, which this is saying sing. Hey Nate, you got a word? Just spit out a word, like a long word. I don't know, something. Just a word.
Prairie.
Prairie. Prairie. Prairie. So I'm going to do prairie now. So we have here pie, which again still sounds pretty good.
Did you get scammed?
Yes, I did. So we have here pie, we got that. Then there's row, so we already have pr, we have that PR sound. Prayer, and then it's going to go into this. We're going to have the ligature E, which pronounces air. So right now we already have prayer, which could be, in very many senses of the word, we could have it be prayer as in a prayer, religious prayer, honestly. But the bad thing about this is if we want to spell the word full-on prairie, we're going to need to know exactly what we're saying. And that's kind of the bad thing as far as phonetically spelling out things. You're going to have to say the word multiple times to actually understand what you're phonetically saying. If you're saying prayer-re or prayer-e, or maybe there's an underlying Y in there for some reason. But for all intents and purposes, let's go with the prayer-re. And I can imagine that, because definitely it has that second R there, but most people don't pronounce it. Again, going into factoring with the phoneticalness of it all, but let's just, for all intents and purposes, have the prairie. So we're going to put in another R, because, yes, we already have pretty much an invisible R kind of sitting there because of this ligature diacritic, but that doesn't mean what it is, and I've found this out by myself as well. If when you have a vowel with the ligature diacritic in it, and then you need the next word to be a vowel, you're going to need to put another row in there, another R sound in there, because all this is creating is the air sound. You're making that lower emphasized word. It's not prayer. It's not prairie. It's prairie. You need to have that reiteration of an R in there. So then all that's needed to figure it out is just have the E sound. So we have prairie. Yes. I hope I explained that well enough. Any other word, Nick?
League.
League? Maybe something like a little bit bigger. Like maybe 3 syllables.
Remember.
Remember. That's a good one. That's a good one. And so we're going to do remember now. To remember. Like putting it in the infinity word just for remember. So we're going to start off with rho. Be all good. Going to have epsilon with the hat over it. And then we're going to use some more letters. We're going to need im, and that's mu, or me, or however you want to say it. I really don't care. It's the U with the little tail thing. So we already have ream, so we need to say remember, so we're going to need the epsilon, the remem, and we're going to need another im. And then we have remember, so we're going to need the ginormous B, and I finally gotten this because I was a little unsure of this. I've been kind of all up and down, just arguing over whether or not different letters should be different sizes and whatnot. This is beta. It's the lowercase beta because it has the tail, but it's still the entire whole of the line of the page across. The only thing that makes it different is the line. I don't know why. And so, all we need left is the upsilon with the ligature. And we do not need a reiterated R, a rho, in there because this is the end of the word. And we don't need to have, like, there's no other vowel in there. We don't need to, like, okay, if we wanted to say remembering, if we had to say that, remembering, we have to have that E vowel in there. And so to get from one vowel to the next with a ligature in it, we need to reiterate that rho. And so we got the thing in there, and the below knee, below knee. That's quite funny. And then we have the hat for the epsilon. So this right now says remembering. Transliteration. And you can do this with anything. You can like make a little journal. You can find out how all these words interact. And I mean, the good thing is about it, once you remember all these different diacritics, once you got that down into memory, you can just, by your mouth, you alone, you don't even have to look in like a dictionary or anything. You can just phonetically say a word and figure out how it works and go it from there. And to be even a little bit more phonetically accurate, there are some letters that aren't exactly in the Pseudo-Greek alphabet that I would think would be a little bit of help to people who would like to do this, like to phonetically write down things with this and try and figure out some stuff for themselves. If you can remember, we have the letter... Actually, I'm just going to erase a lot of this. We have the letter theta, which is the th sound, as in think or thought, the very soft th sound. But then if you have the eth sound, the sound, where it's kind of vibrating in between your teeth a little, then I've made this symbol up myself as well. You're going to need, it's much theta, and then you're making a zeta out of the top line, making the theta, and then coming down and then doing zeta. That will be the eth sound, which will be good. So that's that, which is really good. And another thing, which I'm a little bit proud of, I'm a little not, I don't know, but hey, I don't want to hear it. But there's a letter that I've borrowed, because it kind of goes into a bit of a story, and I'll explain that later, hopefully. If any of you have seen Atlantis, the movie, they actually created their own alphabet for that language, for that whole society that went on. And how it goes, that's the A, is it not? If you remember that, that's on the Shepherd's Journal. But that's not exactly what it is. Like, I know. That's the Atlantean A. This is a symbol I've made up, derived from that, obviously. I mean, obviously. And this is the schwa. This is the schwa in the Pseudo-Greek thing. It pronounces the, if you remember, it's the upside down E, it's the schwa, the sound. So, if you need that, if you want to say America in this phonetic Pseudo-Greek language, you would, and I can actually do that right now. And the thing about this letter is it doesn't change shape. Like this is the uppercase and the lowercase. So then we have that's America in Pseudo-Greek. America. Good deal. And also, on the final note, I imagine, I hope so, I actually have a name for this language other than Pseudo-Greek. Pseudo-Greek was just to get you introduced to the idea of a different language other than Greek, but it still has Greek about it. And what the name of this language that I've created using these phonetic symbols is, give me a second. It's Alkalieus, if I can spell that in our own. Alkalieus. And that's the name I've given it for everything. And this actually is a real, it's what's called a constructed language. I'm working on it right now, and it's been in the process for a good deal long now, and I'm starting to work on it, and I've thought I'd make these videos, try to get people to understand it, get some literacy behind it, and I've actually got a few things working. It's starting to become a real language now. It's like I've been working that intently on it, and hopefully soon I can get more time for myself to do these videos. I can actually sit down and show, I can actually teach you guys, and sooner or later I'll have some lessons come out eventually on certain things, on certain everything. I'll go over that with you. We can get through this one step at a time. Oceania and Noria, signing off. Oh wait,